Namaskar. Hello friends. We have been looking at Guru's importance in spirituality. We will continue with it today and wrap it up. What is Guru's role? Indian spiritual leaders have always laid a great emphasis on the spiritual seeker receiving proper guidance, that is preaching, or what is called in Sanskrit as Upadesh, from a right guru who is himself self-realized. This has been so because the seeker needs to be advised of the right method of discarding the false identity, which is the process of deconditioning. The false identity is so firmly established that it is extremely difficult or almost impossible without help to get rid of it. It is here that the Guru steps in. The right Guru himself, being self-realized, knows what it takes to reach self-realization. We, as ordinary worldly beings with false ego identities, are actually souls lost in the labyrinth of this illusory world. The Guru holds our hand, puts us onto the right path, and gives the necessary tips for getting out of the labyrinth safely. Although we ourselves have to do the walking independently, the Guru keeps watching us while we are walking to make sure that we are not straying away from the right path. A slightly different way of looking at the role of Guru is to understand the Guru as a catalyst in a chemical reaction. There are many chemical reactions that cannot happen unless a specific substance called catalyst is added to the basic ingredients of the reaction. The quantity of the catalyst required for the reaction is usually minuscule. The catalyst itself does not react with the basic reactants, nor does it transform itself during the reaction, but it temporarily provides a vital free electron to the basic reactants that kicks off the reaction, which is then self-sustaining. Respect for Guru. Gone are those days of Ekalavya-like devotion to one's Guru. With a proliferation of phony gurus these days, it is prudent not to blindly trust a Guru unless and until you have tested him yourself. The most fundamental test of a Guru is that he should not be interested in materialistic life at all and should keenly desire his disciples' spiritual progress. This is insofar as spiritual gurus are concerned. That is the concept of Sadguru. Here, devotion is necessary because faith is everything in the spiritual realm. As regards a Guru who is merely a teacher of worldly knowledge and skills, and that too at a fee, the aspect of devotion should not be relevant. In the olden days, there was no concept of fee for teaching, only a Guru Dakshina, which is a one-time fee paid to the Guru at the end of the studentship, and that too used to be rarely materialistic. The Guru was sincerely interested in passing his knowledge to a devoted and worthy student, and hence devotion was important. These days, however, Gurus of worldly knowledge are not even bothered whether their students are learning. Here is a little story. No wise man wastes seed by throwing it on a rocky soil. A landowner had employed a tenant farmer to till his farmland. The farmland was rather rocky and for it to be suitable for sowing, the rocks needed to be removed. The landowner gave a list of instructions to the tenant farmer, the first of which was to remove the rocks from the soil. But the tenant farmer was lazy and found the task of removing the rocks too hard for his comfort. So he just moved on to the next task of plowing the soil. But it could achieve very little, only breaking down some clumps of soft earth. But the rocks remained because a plow could not break or remove them. When the landowner came before the rainy season to give seeds for sowing, he found that the land was still rocky. So he did not give the seeds to the tenant farmer, as that would go waste if thrown on the rocky soil. Most spiritual seekers are like this lazy tenant farmer. Their life is like the rocky soil, where the rocks are all kinds of materialistic interests. The seeker must get rid of these rocks if he wants to reap the harvest of liberation. However, most seekers find that task too hard, and hence they remain engaged in some kind of spiritual practice that amounts to plowing a rocky soil having only a very limited use. They assume that seeds of liberation will fall from somewhere and they will reap a harvest in due course of time. But they don't realize that the seed stock is available only with self-realized Sadgurus who are like that landowner. Unless the Sadguru is satisfied that a seeker has got rid of the rocks of materialistic interests, that is, he has developed detachment, vairagya, the Sadguru does not waste his seed stock by throwing it on the rocky soil of the worldly life of the seeker. So there is no alternative to painstaking task of gradually reducing the worldly interests. Only then will the Sadguru feel confident that his seed stock won't be wasted. Then the Sadguru sows the seeds, after which the seeker has to water his field regularly and provide nutrients. That is, do regular sadhana, meditation. Only then can he reap the harvest of moksha, liberation. We will stop here and continue the next time. Until then, bye. Take care.